Personally, I think they're shooting themselves in the foot. That's the best way that I could possibly phrase it. It's not about us, it's not about me. It's more about the fact that actually, why would you limit the amount of people that would possibly want to buy the upgrade edition? It don't make sense to me. Well, now we're only a few weeks out from the anniversary TBC pre-patch and Christmas is finally out of the way. There's still a couple of things that I just can't believe. On the 13th of January, when the TBC pre-patch hits, we're going to be able to go all the way down in the talent tree to be able to pick up new abilities like Mangle for Druids or Crusader Strike for Paladins. Draenei and Blood Elf are going to be introduced so we can have Paladins and Shamans on both sides of the factions, as well as tons of smaller changes like the XP reduction needed per level from level 20 to 60. So actually leveling your Draenei or Blood Elves or basically whatever you're going to level in the pre-patch, it's just going to be that bit quicker. Now, of course, there's tons more than that, like the fact that you can get geared in full PvP gear with absolute minimal effort, and I'm talking like rank 14 PvP gear, so even for the first time when you walk through the Dark Portal, you can be pretty stacked for minimal effort. But there's tons of preparation videos out there on this channel and on many others, so just go and check those out, because that's not what we're talking about today. We're talking about one thing mainly, but I do want to mention the sort of glaringly obvious one, which is pre-patch is in 3 weeks, and we still don't even know how long pre-patch is going to be, so when is the game launching? Back in TBC Classic, we had about 2 weeks pre-patch, which most people complained was too short if they planned on leveling a Paladin or a Shaman during that time. Now, Blizzard being Blizzard, I wouldn't be surprised if it was just 2 weeks again, but realistically, we should expect about 3 weeks. I think 3 weeks would be a good number on the basis the main thing I want to talk about in this video is still in place, and that's the boost. Before we do get onto the boost though, if you want the fastest way to level during the pre-patch and when you walk through the Dark Portal to get to level 70 as well, then make sure you check out Rested XP in the pinned comment in the description below. I'm sure you've heard of Rested XP by now. Pretty much every version of the game we use it, so I'm sure it will come as no surprise that there's a TBC Anniversary Edition for it. The good thing with a TBC Anniversary Edition though is you are going to get that pre-launch quest stacking guide and handing guide as well. So not only will it get you to get the quests that are going to give you the most XP, so when it ticks over to TBC, you'll be able to get to about level 62 comfortably. It's also going to guide you around for the most efficient hand-in route as well. Again, links in the pinned comment in the description. But let's talk about the boost. Now, I'm sure you're already aware, but there's 2 game upgrade editions for TBC Anniversary. There's the Outland Epic Pack and the Outland Heroic Pack. The Heroic Pack being $34.99, where you just get some cosmetics like a mount and a pet. But if you pay the $64.99 for the Outland Epic Pack, the main difference between the two is you're going to get a level 58 character boost in the pre-patch, and you're going to get 30 days of game time. Now, the thing is, when you read the small print, you can't boost Draenei or Blood Elf, which, let's be fair, for the vast majority of people, they're the 2 races that need to be boosted. Now, if we think back to the launch of Mr. Pandaria Classic, if you're not aware, there was a lot of confusion around the boost. This was mainly because depending on what region's store you was looking on, it told you different information. On one side, it was showing you that you couldn't boost Pandarans, whereas on the other side, it was showing you couldn't boost monks. Now, this held true all the way up to a couple of weeks before launch. So everyone was planning on what they was going to do with their monks and how they was going to have to actually level them from level 1, and then all of a sudden Blizzard completely changed it and allowed monks to be boosted. Not only this, you could boost pandas as well. Now, this made sense in Mist of Pandaria, where arguably it might not make sense in TBC, because for those of us that had played multiple expansions leading up to Mist of Pandaria, it was highly unlikely that we wouldn't have a class at least half leveled that isn't a monk, which made buying the big upgrade edition where it comes with a boost much less desirable, when the only race or the only class that you haven't actually got anywhere near max level is the only one that you can't actually use the boost on. Now, I would say there's going to be less people in that situation when it comes to TBC, but there will still be some. So if you've been playing Anniversary since day one and slowly over the months you've been leveling characters, just getting them boosted now and again, maybe in Scarlet Monastery or whatever, and you've got every class at, let's say, 30 plus. You've got multiple level 60s, but then most of the other classes you've got like level 30 plus. Well, now the only class that you would want to use a boost on anyway would be a Draenei Shaman or a Blood Elf Paladin, which then, going back to the upgrade editions, kind of makes the $64.99 pack where you get the boost much less desirable for you, meaning you're less likely to buy it, means Blizzard will make less money. Now, just in case you think, oh, this guy just wants a Paladin on the Horde, or he wants a Shaman on the Alliance, but he don't want to level it, so he's complaining about the boost not being available to him, that's not actually the case. I would be using a boost on a completely different class, for a Druid, if you're wondering. So this is not a selfish take where I'm just moaning that I can't boost a Shaman or a Paladin, because I wouldn't be boosting one anyway. I'm kind of just thinking about the people that want to use a boost, but they might end up having to use the boost on a character that's already level 40 or something, because it's like, oh, I'll just finish that character off, or not buy the boost at all, which then hurts Blizzard's pocket, which I know barely any of us even care about, but I just think it would be a good idea to allow these characters to be boosted, especially when there is that chance that the pre-patch will be quite short. If it's only 2 weeks, the majority of your time during the pre-patch will be just leveling your new character. If you're rolling Shaman or you're rolling Paladin in TBC, most of your pre-patch time when you should be having fun, it's kind of just going to be wasted on leveling. I'm not saying you're not going to enjoy it on the way up and maybe even have a week or, 4 or 5 days or whatever to be able to then get some gear on it and stuff, but you really are limiting the amount of stuff that you can do in the pre-patch when the pre-patch is, I was going to say, a once-in-a-lifetime experience, but it's not, is it really? Because we'll probably have TBC pre-patch again in about 2 years' time. But you know what I'm saying? You should be able to actually enjoy the pre-patch. Now, I know the leveling's going to be faster, but it's still not going to be mega fast. It's still going to take quite a while. And on the basis that even with anti-boosting systems in place, there's lots of boosts that you can still do from level like 15 to 60. Most people are just going to be spending gold on getting their characters to level 60 rather than spending money on the big upgrade edition to be able to do exactly the same thing. So it just doesn't make sense to me. For those of you that are joining Anniversary specifically for TBC, this won't really matter because, okay, you can't boost yourself a Draenei or a Blood Elf, but you're most likely got other classes that you can boost that's going to be useful anyway. Again, I feel like this is more relevant for those that have been playing since the start of Anniversary and have got all the characters that they already want, so the boost is kind of pointless. And again, fun. That is the biggest factor for me personally. When it comes to the TBC pre-patch, you should be getting in BGs and you should be getting into raids and just absolutely blasting, because it's not going to be balanced at all, because everyone's got their level 70 talents and we've got like all the class adjustments where just everything just does more damage, and like the buff and debuff management systems across the raid are going to be different. Yeah, it's just going to be a really fun time, and it's a shame if you're going to spend the majority of that time leveling. Now, there is that happy middle ground where it's like, okay, fine, we can't boost these characters, but they are going to do like a 4-week pre-patch, so you get plenty of time to level and plenty of time to enjoy the content. But then at the same time, you've got the people that are probably just dying to get into TBC because they're done with the content. They're not going to bother leveling Draenei's or Blood Elves. So that kind of is the negative on the flip side. But I think if we can't boost them, a 4-week pre-patch might seem a bit long to some of you, but I think I'd probably appreciate it. I mean, look, let's be honest. Come the 13th of January, no matter whether it's 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks, whether we can boost Shamans, we can boost Paladins, or we can't do any of that, and we only end up with 2 weeks pre-patch, it's still going to be really fun. It was nice to see Blizzard come out recently as well and talk about the fact that they are open to doing Tier 5 onwards in a pre-nerf state, should people want it that way. So there is hope for the future raids to actually be in a pre-nerf state and be harder as well. How they handle that, whether they just run it for like 4 weeks pre-nerf and then go post-nerf, obviously we'll wait and see, but it is good that they're at least listening again. But Tier 4 will be in a fully post-nerf state, as it was tested a couple of times on the PTR. Get your thoughts down in the comments. What do you think? Do you think it's a good thing that we have to level the Blood Elves and Draenei's? Do you think it's a bit of a misstep from Blizzard like I do? Personally, I think they're shooting themselves in the foot. That's the best way that I could possibly phrase it. It's not about us, it's not about me. It's more about the fact that actually, why would you limit the amount of people that would possibly want to buy the upgrade edition? It don't make sense to me. I hope you all had a lovely Christmas. Make sure you come and check me streaming out over on kick.com/Scottejaye. I'll be back in full swing after the new year, and I'll see you on the next one.